Story 1. The friends you have now may change dramatically as you evolve, and that is okay. You are not here to stay the same, and if some people feel you should, they are not the right friends for you, so let them go. Story 2. You can do this. Just a few more years, and you'll be free of the burden and can explore everything you have always wanted. Story 3. Ask the girl out. She is very interested in you. Those friends are not worth your time, so find new ones. Learn coding. You don't struggle with math. You were just placed in the wrong class. Story 4. Get out of town after you graduate. Travel. Major in what you love. Embrace minimalism. Experiences matter more than belongings. Form relationships with people who embrace, accept, and challenge you, not those who try to help you conform to their idea of success. Story 5. You cannot imagine it, but you are going to have a long life and need to act accordingly. Think ahead. There are consequences. Story 6. Don't start smoking. It will become addictive faster than you think, and at nearly 32, you will still be struggling to quit the habit. Learn to stress less and stop getting worked up over everything. It's worse for your health than smoking. Story 7. The group of friends from high school you are hanging out with is untrustworthy. Consider distancing yourself when you have the opportunity. Don't waste years trying to please others out of fear of being alone. Story 8. Your ideas have value, and your dreams are valid. What you envision may take time to materialize. It's important to stay optimistic and strive for improvement. Story 9. Stop rebelling against your parents and stick to God's right path. I have messed up too much since then. Story 10. No advice. If I could physically meet my 15-year-old self, I would send him to an activities camp focused on his interests during the school holidays or take him camping myself. I would introduce him to some authors, play football with him, and teach him meditation for the days when he struggles and feels misunderstood. I would let him know it will be okay. Anything to slow depression and help him maintain composure during his tough days. It's not easy to create coping mechanisms on your own. Story 11. When the girls in the office pull their chairs over to your desk to eat lunch with you instead of going to the break room, consider asking them out. Story 12. It doesn't matter if the other kids think you are cool. It doesn't matter at all. Doing well in school matters, though. Story 13. Do not enter into a relationship with that 24-year-old waitress. She is engaged and will likely use you as a placeholder. Story 14. This is your only opportunity. Be kind to yourself and to others. Don't settle. Work hard and achieve anything you have ever wanted. Your wants and needs matter. Story 15. Start fighting back. It's the only thing people with ill intentions understand. If they are larger, target softer options. They do not care about rules, so neither should you. Story 16. I don't know, man. 10 years later, it's hard for me to revisit and think about what I should have or could have done differently. Story 17. Listen, I need you to work out some excellent advice to give yourself when you're me. You've got 34 years. Make it better than this. Story 18. If you still have severe acne by the time you are 18, visit a dermatologist to get a prescription for Accutane. I experienced severe acne for years, and the dermatologist frequently prescribed different creams and occasionally pills. These treatments reduced acne to varying degrees and for different lengths of time, but they never truly resolved the issue. Accutane finally provided a solution for me. Story 19. Get a hormonal intrauterine device. You have undiagnosed endometriosis. You are not crazy. You need 2 instant doses of Adderall a day to treat attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Extended release will just make you unable to sleep. Do not try to just tough it out. You have attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, not the many other things you could be misdiagnosed with. Gain independence from your family. They can be a drain on your self-esteem if you stay in contact. The difference between love and limerence is that one is true acceptance of someone, while the other is a fantasy bond due to trauma that makes vulnerability scary. Being in love is not the feeling of limerence. Love is accepting someone for who they are and does not hurt. Ensure you are compatible with someone before developing deep feelings. Avoid getting physical before then. Also, you are a lesbian, And anyone who does not accept that or judges you does not belong in your life. Stick with software engineering as a career. You are an abstract and analytical thinker, not suited for field or physical work. Get a custom-fit mouthguard before your jaw starts having popping issues that may not be easily fixable. Consider purchasing the book Boglehead's Guide to Investing and applying its concepts. Story 20. My life would have been better if I knew who my biological mother was instead of trying to run away only to be followed everywhere I went. I think I would have gone to college close to where I lived and then moved into my own place like my siblings did, rather than moving away and then begrudgingly moving back since all of my experiences were sabotaged and completely ruined: college, work experiences, places of residence, and so on. My life would have been so much better if I had moved out of my house when I was 21 years old instead of 17. Story 21. The girl you will meet next year will like you but won't express it. Take charge by the end of that year or you will lose her like I did. Story 22. Spend time with your grandparents and write down the prayer your grandfather says at every holiday dinner. You will wish you had done it later. Story 23. Focus on school more and stop your slacking. You will regret it later. Also, go to sleep at a reasonable time and limit your video game playing. Story 24. Backpacks do not need to hang all the way down. Your 30-year-old back will appreciate it if you raise it higher. Story 25. Finish school, experience college, and travel the world. Be kind to others and learn about life from different perspectives. Do not settle for unimportant things or societal norms. You have more time than you realize. Story 26. Do not stop working out consistently. If you stop, you will gain weight from inexpensive pizzas and beers in your 20s, and then you may find yourself over 400 pounds in your early 30s, struggling to get back to a regular workout routine. Story 27. 15 was easily the worst year of my life. Life gets much better. Just hang on. Feel free to leave the church, but replace it with another community and continue to donate a good percentage of your income to worthy causes. Start lifting weights and eating properly. You will figure out how to support yourself. It's not worth the mental stress and worry. Story 28. Yes, we will get motivated and have discussions for the women in the future. Calm down. Live for yourself. Focus on positive experiences and pursue meaningful endeavors. Story 29. If birds land on a branch, does the bird trust the branch or its wings? I have seen many birds land on branches, and I have never seen a branch break causing a bird to fall and die. Trust your wings. Story 30. Even if I told my past self what I had learned, I don't think I would have listened. All realizations come only through direct experience. Except for financial advice like buy Bitcoin, I would just say, none of the catastrophic worries you have ever actually come true, so don't worry. Story 31. Honestly, 15-year-old me wouldn't listen, and I don't blame him at all. I wish I could just give him a hug instead. Story 32. You are correct. High school can be difficult, and the real world is not the same. Be kind to yourself. Care for yourself as much as you care for others. You will make a difference in your life, but you do not have to create such a challenging path to get there. Story 33. 1. Stay off social media. Lose weight. Being overweight is challenging, and it will not change on its own. Your mother is not going to change. Continue to love her, but create some distance. Story 34. You will only find anxiety, terror, failure, delusion, and dysfunction in that bottle. Do not pick it up and certainly do not rely on it to cope. Story 35. Cherish your moment with your dad. Learn to forgive yourself. Stop caring about someone else's feelings. Stand up for yourself. Your feelings are valid. You have the right to ask why, so don't hold back. And lastly, hug your parents a little tighter. Story 36. Eat better and work out. I have just been diagnosed as pre-diabetic and have started the journey of losing weight, cutting sugar, eating a balanced diet, and staying active. I will overcome this, but I could have avoided it a long time ago. Story 37. Try hard to overcome anorexia and bulimia because you may develop osteoporosis in your 30s, which can also harm your esophagus and teeth. Story 38. When you feel like the world is collapsing, Find someone who appears to have always been okay and ask them about a time when they felt like they were about to hit rock bottom. Ask them how they overcame that experience. Understand that everything will be all right. Story 39. Don't be afraid to learn something new because life never stops teaching you. Remember, today is never forever. Story 40. Take risks and enjoy yourself. One day you won't care about what people think. Oh, and when you meet Charlotte Lamb, for goodness sake, ask her out. Story 41. Don't wait until you are old to give up. Give up now and save yourself the trouble. Literally, just lie down and stay there. Story 42. Your mother is abusive and has lied to get attention for disabilities you do not actually have. Your stepfather is going to steal your college fund. Do not let him manage it for you. Take that money and put a down payment on a house. Then rent it out and use those funds to supplement your income until you decide what you actually want to do. Keep this plan to yourself. If you decide to attend college, only use grant money. Never take out student loans. Always trust your instincts. If something feels wrong for you, do not do it. You can only rely on yourself, and that is okay because you are smart, strong, and capable. Some people want to keep you down because they are feeling down themselves. Let them go. Care for them in your heart, but let them go. Story 43. I would select the top posts from the previous million discussions and use artificial intelligence to condense them to the most important points. Story 44. Stop wasting time and acting out at school. All that anger you're holding on to is negatively impacting your life. Stop spending money on clothes and shoes. Consider investing in Apple, Google, and Amazon stock. Invest in Bitcoin and hold on to it for the long term. The year 2020 is going to be unusual. Story 45. I know you're not interested in computers because that's what Dad does. However, consider this. You could earn significantly more money by pursuing this path. Story 46. Until your time of passing, plan your goals as if you are immortal. Set goals so high that you must grow into the person to even begin achieving them. By the yard, it is hard. By the inch, it's a cinch. Story 47. Making money is all that matters. Your empathy, kindness, decency, honor, loyalty, and hard work are insignificant. Story 48. Buy Bitcoin and don't worry about what others say because you are actually good looking, and you will be marrying an amazing lady. Story 49. Stop using drugs, invest in Bitcoin, start losing weight even if it's slow, find a job, finish school, sell Bitcoin in 2025, buy dividends, and work on yourself and for yourself. Story 50. Study. Listen to your family. Take their advice to heart. Surround yourself with people who impress you. Always try to be the least knowledgeable person in the room. You will catch up. Story 51. That girl you like in theater class, do not pursue her. Also, take your camcorder with you wherever you go. Story 52. You are not the problem. The girl who bullied you and chipped away at your confidence until it disappeared is the problem. It's not your fault, and you haven't done anything to provoke her. It's okay to be who you are and to be comfortable in your own skin. You don't need to be outgoing or extroverted. Story 53. Don't hold yourself back for anyone. There are other ways to escape your home life than getting married. Stop telling yourself you're not good enough to do better because your family has drilled that into you since you were little. Push yourself to do better. Prove them wrong. Story 54. In 6 months, you will contract methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus from the high school gym, and you will find out you have cancer. But don't worry, you will be in quarantine and have the whole room to yourself with no social interaction. Story 55. Save money. Avoid having too many friends. Start going to the gym. Don't attend college or university if this is what you want to pursue. Don't date individuals you don't connect with. Place a bet on Bubba Watson to win the Masters in 2012 and 2014. Story 56. You were right about eBay, Nvidia, changing schools, and taking that full-time job you were offered in college. Story 57. Trust no one. Make smart choices that will last a lifetime. Don't give up. Go for what you want. Never settle. Story 58. Do not marry her. Do not bother with college. Get a truck driver's license and find a job in New Hampshire. Live there in a simple, affordable home. Buy a good all-wheel drive vehicle and keep it until the frame rusts. Story 59. Take up hobbies I discovered later in life that I love and put in hours of practice to become skilled at them. Story 60. Give up? It's never going to get better, and you'll always feel like a failure. It is about to get a lot worse for you. Story 61. I was 15 in 1981, and Apple stock was about 8 cents a share. I would tell myself to buy as much of it as possible over the next 20 years. Story 62. Be a little more adventurous and unconcerned about what others think. You're good enough to make mistakes and have fun while still turning out all right. Story 63. Things I wish I could have told myself. By the way, you are autistic. Trust me, I know. You are beautiful. Learn to love yourself for who you are. Stop comparing yourself to others. You are loved. Please don't try to harm yourself. Your dad is a narcissist and he is never going to change. Not until it's too late to fix anything. He is a better man when he stops drinking and takes responsibility for his actions. He is still growing up too, but that is not an excuse for what he did to you. Your mom is not a dependable person. She may tell you that she is, but she is lying. Remember that depending on her always ends with you losing yourself. Oh, and don't smoke. It's not cool. Your friends are lying to you. Story 64. Exercise and take care of your health now. Don't wait until tomorrow, next month, or next year. Story 65. Death metal is not a good career choice. Women are individuals and have every right to be attracted to whomever they choose. With that in mind, focus on exercising and eating well. It will change everything. Story 66. Don't get the credit cards. Take more pictures. Be more present. Don't worry about trying to plan out your entire life. Chances are it's all going to change regardless. Story 67. She is not the one, little dude. You meet your wife in your sophomore year. Treat her right. Do not mess this up. Story 68. Buy 200 euros worth of Bitcoin and do not sell it for at least 15 years. Also, talk to a trusted source about how to store it safely and consider therapy when your worst fear becomes true. Additionally, avoid certain activities at the upcoming party and do not get too attached to a girl you will meet in a few years. Story 69. These are some of the best years of your life. Trust me, making mistakes and not taking yourself too seriously is beneficial. You are not invincible, and it is important to make quality friends. Trust your intuition. Story 70. For goodness sake, when your mother asks if you want to change schools to pursue your hires, say yes. And when you are asked to help your cousin avoid falling into a pool of unpleasant water, pretend not to hear. It is for the good of humanity. Story 71. Get tested for dyslexia. There are funds available for low-income families to enroll their children in high school sports. Purchase Bitcoin and hold it until 2025. Story 72. Buy Bitcoin. Don't put rent on credit cards. Spend more time with your mom. She doesn't have long. Have more fun, you're too busy being cautious. Live a little. Story 73. I will give you 3 names. These are people you should avoid at all costs. I don't care what happens. Do not spend any time with them. Just avoid them. Beyond that, you are doing well. Don't worry too much about things. Story 74. Keep that confidence and drive you possess. Have faith in yourself. In the next 25 years, the world around you will change. Story 75. Let your mom help you get diagnosed with social anxiety and receive appropriate medication. Unfortunately, I am addressing this matter much too late. Story 76. Start lifting weights sooner and confront bullies. Stand up for yourself. Stay away from painkillers in your 20s. Learn a trade or something similar. Otherwise, you may be job-wise miserable for the rest of your life. Story 77. I know your parents may not understand, but you have epilepsy and bipolar disorder, and you need to do everything within your power to see a psychiatrist and a neurologist. Consider borrowing money from your grandfather so you can receive the care you need. I have a type of epilepsy that does not involve convulsions, so no one noticed I was having seizures for a very long time. This was especially true since my parents decided not to include me on their health insurance when I was a child, so I did not have access to a doctor. If there are any young people reading this and you suspect something is wrong, please do your best to get checked out. Lean on your parents, and if you are in school, involve the school nurse and guidance counselor to help advocate for you. I understand this is easier said than done, especially since teenagers with symptoms like chronic pain or depression are often dismissed as being dramatic. You deserve better than medical neglect. Story 78. Pursue a career you will truly love based on what you are drawn to. Don't choose just because you excel in a subject or adults tell you it will make you more money. Story 79. It feels like this question is asked almost every day, but with a different age number. Tomorrow we'll discuss, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self? Story 80. Buy Bitcoin as soon as possible. Do not prioritize work over your girlfriend, especially around 2008. Story 81. You are stronger than you think. What happened to you is not your fault. It's the adults who are responsible. Even though you've been abused, don't give up on learning how to trust. Story 82. I would tell her to stop wishing to be older. She has everything she could ever want right now. The future will come soon enough, but she needs to enjoy the present because she will miss these days someday. Her 22-year-old self. Story 83. Just keep being yourself. You have it figured out already. Just don't seek attention the moment it stops. Don't worry, it will return. Story 84. You don't love her. This pure lust because she is the first girl you have been intimate with. She doesn't even meet your preferences. You might think you like certain features more because you've never been with someone who fits that ideal. Consider seeking out someone who meets your criteria. Source. I've been with my wife for 14 years, and she fits that ideal. Story 85. You need to start selling items around the house and build up your sales, marketing, and entrepreneurial skills. Don't waste time. Avoid the illusion of fitting in with others. You'll only lose in the end. Winners stand out. Story 86. Finding a girlfriend or having intimate relationships isn't the most important thing in life. Just relax and enjoy life. The right girl will come along eventually. It took a while, but she did. Story 87. Create the ability for you to be financially independent before having your next child. If your mother doesn't pay your bills, she can't tell you what to do. Story 88. Advance to the next level in Spanish class. A Latina will join you in a few years, and you will want to know and remember what you have learned. Story 89. Tell mom to get her brain scanned for any potential aneurysms. That is the most important thing because she could still be alive if they had known. Other things to consider are to avoid chocolate because it affects my skin, not to pick at acne, and to start studying to obtain a driver's license. Story 90. I would say to forget that girl, but then I feel like I would never have met my wife, and if we did, we probably wouldn't have ended up together. Therefore, I will go with Bitcoin and GameStop, aim for the best outcome, and exit at the right time. Story 91. Go back to church and try to be friendly instead of waiting for others to be friendly to you. Work on relationships when issues arise instead of letting them fade away. Live up to your beliefs. Learn from older individuals. Loosen up and stop self-judging. Realize that if you make a mistake, you can learn from it later and make changes. Strive for good grades and remain committed to your pursuits instead of giving up. Story 92. Listen to the older generation when they say to work smarter, not harder. I truly regret not heeding this advice. I just turned 38 and have undergone 3 back surgeries, 2 of which were fusions in the last 4 years. Now, I am experiencing issues that suggest my back is worse than before, and I have no idea what I will do regarding employment. Each time I return to work, I end up injuring my back again. I am so exhausted from the pain that I am seriously considering retiring early. I wish someone could go back in time and tell my younger self to listen to his elders. Story 93. Have more fun. Go out with your friends. No one has ever asked if you have a perfect grade point average. Your mom will not be disappointed if you experience life. Story 94. Have a backbone and don't accept just anyone who approaches you, regardless of the warning signs, because you're feeling lonely or overly interested in boys. Story 95. Take your academics in high school more seriously so you can have more options for where you want to attend college. This can dictate your future. Story 96. Stop caring so much about what people think. Start learning useful skills early and don't waste time on things that won't matter in a few years. Oh, and hit the gym. Trust me, it will change everything. Story 97. Talk to someone about your mental health concerns now. While there are still adults in your life who can provide guidance, and while there are resources available to assist you. Story 98. Enjoy being young and stop rushing through everything. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're failing. Trust yourself more and don't worry so much about what others think of you. You'll figure things out, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. You're doing better than you think. Story 99. Don't drink and drive. Drinking and driving ruined my life, and I lost my rare Toyota from 1999 with only 15,000 miles. Story 100. I would tell my 15-year-old self, do not stress about the future, take more risks, build good habits, ignore unimportant opinions, and embrace failure as a part of growth. Story 101. I have 3 great pieces of advice. 1. Physical health is as important as mental health. Gain some healthy weight if you are lean, and exercise at least 3 times a week. Also, consume a decent amount of protein. Control your anger. That is one of your worst enemies. Listen more and talk less. Don't rush your choices or decisions. Take your time and trust your instincts. Good luck. Story 102. Razors work best when used properly. Consider doing sit-ups as part of your fitness routine. Additionally, save your money during the pandemic and consider taking a semester off. Story 103. Stay on top of your financial matters. Do not allow anyone to use your lines of credit. Avoid obtaining more than 1 credit card, and when your dad encourages you to do so, decline politely. You will meet a wonderful woman who seems out of your league early in your first job. Pursue that opportunity, as you may end up marrying her one day. I missed that first chance, and it made things very difficult for years afterward, but it eventually worked out. Additionally, stay away from caffeine. Consider investing in Bitcoin as soon as possible. Story 104. Do not listen to your doctor. Seek a second opinion. You are not a late bloomer. There is a reason you have no sense of smell and have not started puberty yet. Kallman syndrome. Story 105. I would give myself 5 albums: Master of Reality by Black Sabbath, Tommy by The Who, Songs of Leonard Cohen by Leonard Cohen, The Beatles by The Beatles, and Time, The Revelator by Gillian Welch. I wouldn't warn myself or try to preach to myself about anything. Oh, and I would tell myself to drink more coffee and talk about aliens. I would convince myself to spend all my effort acquiring a 1986 pickup truck. It doesn't matter the make or model. I would only wear jean work shirts and large chinos, dress like it's 1978, and buy a house in a secluded forest anywhere. That's about it. Story 106. What you love, your passion, is more important than the opinions of anyone else. It is more important than any amount of anxiety, dread, or tiredness. Do not give up on it. Pursue it, even when you are scared, tired, or feeling isolated. Please keep pursuing your passion. I miss playing instruments, and the trivial high school drama is what ruined it for me. Story 107. Study the subconscious mind, morphic fields, and subliminals. Stop caring about everyone more than yourself. That is not evil. Story 108. Depends on when at 15. That was a chaotic year that had a few weeks that significantly changed many aspects of my life, so the advice I would give would be drastically different depending on whether it was before or after everything changed. Story 109. If I were to give advice to my 15-year-old self, I would say to be patient and kind to yourself, as mistakes are a natural part of growth. Story 110. Most relationships with friends, girls, and even some family are temporary. Be in the moment, enjoy the present, and remember that the only person you will have by your side all the time, no matter what, is yourself. Take care of yourself. Story 111. When I was 15, I would say never try any drug other than marijuana or psychedelics. In the present, I would suggest preparing for a difficult life. My niece and nephew told me that their school, the same one I attended, has a litter box in the bathrooms for students who identify as furries. I can't recall if it's for them or if they have their own bathroom. The point is, this country is moving in a direction that I do not like. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.